What up? What's happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and I'm pretty pumped about this next guest. You can hear him every morning on The Breakfast Club on Power 105.1 in New York City. He also is on Guide Code on MTV2, and he is the co-host of the Brilliant Idiots podcast. This dude is a jack of all trades. On the phone line is the one and only Charlamagne the God. What's up, man?
What's up, my brother? Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. What I like about you is you're very outspoken and you speak the truth, because a lot of times in music radio, it's very vanilla. So, dude, it's so refreshing to have someone that's outspoken like you.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, I honestly wouldn't want to do radio any other way. And, I mean, I would have to contribute that to, just growing up in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, and my fathers and my uncles, they always spoke their mind. And my father would always tell me the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. So that's just always how I tried to deliver. And plus, when I first got on the radio, I really didn't know how to do radio. Nobody taught me. So it's just like I didn't know anything else to do other than speak and give my honest opinion about things. So that's just something I kind of stuck with.
What do you think of the fact that a lot of people in the media refer to you as a shock jock? Because to me, that's very lowbrow, and it's not true.
Yeah, I don't like that term at all. The only reason I don't like that term is because there's no value in shock. And then, you also got to think about why they think I'm shocking. They think I'm shocking because of what you just said. The music industry is very vanilla. Like, nobody is being honest. Like, I've had program directors tell me, you shouldn't have an opinion. You have too much of an opinion. Don't give an opinion on music. Don't give an opinion on artists. So if somebody comes out and actually gets on the radio and be like, man, that new song by such and such is whack. As soon as I say that, everybody's like, oh, my God, did he just say that? But there's nothing shocking about giving your honest opinion about something.
Is there ever a time, though, when you're going on a rant or you're saying what you feel, do you ever think you might get suspended or kicked off, or at this point, are you just going for it?
I'm immune to that at this point, man. I've been doing radio since 1998. I started off as an intern in 1998. I've been fired from 4 different radio stations. This is the 7th radio station I worked at. And, I mean, the Breakfast Club, we're syndicated in, well over 50 radio stations. We're in like 40 different markets. So it's like, for me, I think I've pretty much earned my voice, so to speak. Because like I said, I've been fired 4 times, and the same things they used to fire me for, they now hire me for. So it's like, it is what it is at this point.
How surreal is it to think that when you turn on the mic each morning, not only are you talking to New York City, but you're heard in 50 cities, dude? How surreal is that?
It's very surreal. It's very surreal simply because I'm the type of person, I believe my thoughts become things. And, they always tell you, like, make your vision boards and write down your long-term goals and your short-term goals. And, I read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne years ago, and that's something that I adopted in my life. And that's something that I always wanted for myself. I always wanted to be a nationally syndicated morning radio personality. And I remember when we first started the Breakfast Club, I would say that all the time. You can ask my co-host, DJ Envy and Angela E. I would literally say that all the time. And, when you actually see your visions become reality, you see your dreams become reality, it's a very surreal feeling. It'll make you really, really monitor your thoughts. The things you want to happen in your life, constantly think about it. Things you don't want to happen, don't think about it at all.
How did you make it work? Did you keep on grinding? Like, was there ever a point when you think it wouldn't happen, or have things worked out for you?
Man, everything that I thought was a setback was really just God moving me in another direction. Like, I remember literally every time I would get fired, that's what they would tell me. Hey, we're moving in another direction. Hey, we're going to move in another direction. And I remember one time my homegirl, her name is Kendra G. She actually does morning radio in Chicago on WGCI. She said to me the last time I got fired, which was 2010, and I was doing morning radio in Philly. She was the afternoon girl there, or the night girl. And I had to move back to South Carolina. Like, my daughter was just born. I had my fiance with me, who's now my wife. She was with me, and we had to literally move back to South Carolina. And I remember my homegirl Kendra said, yo, I want you to spend all the time you can with your family now, because when you get back in position, you won't have any time. And she said, it's not that it's not that they're moving in another direction. It's like God is moving you in another direction. And that's something that stuck with me. She was absolutely right, because every time I ended up getting fired, I ended up in a better position than before.
Now, what is your key to keeping a personal life while being outspoken on air? Like, do you talk about your family a lot, or do you try to keep them separate?
Nah, I talk about my family. I talk about my family when it applies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't not talk about being married. You can't not talk about having kids. Like, because those are just, it's regular things that you do on a day-to-day basis that may apply to whatever we're speaking about. But, as far as like posting them on Instagram and social media and all of that stuff, I definitely don't do that. I make a conscious decision not to do that, only because I feel like it is some things you should keep personal. I just don't feel like social media is the place for my family.
How weird is it to think that you have a big following, dude, where people recognize you all the time? Like, does it ever sink in, or does it not seem real that you're basically a celebrity?
I don't like to look at myself as a celebrity, man. I like to look at myself as a fan. I don't think any radio personality, or even DJ for that matter, should look at themselves as a celebrity, because I feel like when you keep that fan perspective, you're always going to speak the honest opinion of the people. When you keep that fan perspective, you're always in the mix of the fans. You're listening to what the fans are saying. You're vibing to what the fans are vibing with. You really got your pulse on things when you keep that fan perspective. I think when you start acting like you're a celebrity, or you're some type of gatekeeper, or you're some type of change agent, like you can dictate what's going on out here, I think that's when you start losing. Like, I've seen a lot of radio personalities come before me who are in those positions, and that's what they did. They started acting like they were the gatekeepers, and they were the people that were dictating things that were going on in the industry, and I watched them fall because of it. So I never like to look at myself as a celebrity. I just keep myself. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan that a lot of people know.
How flattering is it, though, that a lot of people compare you to Howard for the hip-hop music group?
I love it, man. I love it because Howard was such an idol and inspiration to me. He's still one of, if not the greatest interviewer of that I've ever listened to. And I just like it, man. But I can't be anybody but me. I guess it's very flattering, and I understand why people say that, because, when you're trying to explain something to somebody, that's the easiest way to explain it, by saying, yeah, he's like such and such. So for me, I respect it. But, I can't be anything but Charlamagne.
Now, when you do these interviews, what are the key to getting the most out of people? Because some of these have gotten heated, like the one with Kanye West. So what is the key to making it radio gold?
I think this honesty, integrity, always approaching it from the perspective of a fan. I'm the fan who actually gets to say to the artist what a lot of people probably want to say. I'm the fan that gets to deliver the messages from the streets. Like, if it's an overwhelming response for an album and people really like it, and I really like it, I'm gonna let that person know that. But if I don't really like something and it's a overwhelming response of negativity, I'm gonna let that person know that too. But I think the key is just being honest, having integrity, and not backing down. And what I mean by that is, you can't say what you want to say about people and expect people not to have a rebuttal. So if these artists have rebuttals, or if these artists come on your show and ask you about things that you've said, you have to stand by that. That's it, period.
Who are some rappers right now that you think are getting a little bit too cocky to themselves?
It's funny, man. I feel like a lot of I was having this conversation recently, and I was talking about Drake, but Drake has earned the right to be cocky. But what I was saying about him was, if you listen to a record called Summer 16, he said that he used to want to be signed to Rockefeller, but then he turned into Jay, and then he threw like a nice little friendly jab at Kanye, where he said that, his pool is bigger than Kanye's, Ye's pool is nice, but he's that guy, is what he was basically saying. And I was like, people could turn on you because of that. Now, I get why he's saying everything that he's saying, because he's earned the right to. He is that guy right now. And he had a great year last year. So probably was feeling himself a little bit. But, people will root for you when you're the underdog. As soon as you start winning too much, they'll flip on you again. So I was saying for him, he just got to be careful about coming off a little too cocky, because he could easily turn people off just as quick as he turned them on. Because he made a lot of new fans last year. And for a moment, I was one of them. I'm not going to front. I really liked what he was doing, especially when he was battling Meek.
What happened with that? Because I thought that was very odd that Meek Mills was going against one of the best rappers in the game. Do you think Meek was trying to be more relevant? What happened there? That was really bizarre, because Meek just came off really weak in the end.
Yeah, I think Meek might have been feeling himself too. I mean, he dating Nicki Minaj. He had a #1 album 2 weeks in a row on the Billboard charts overall. So he might have just been feeling himself a little. I mean, you go back and look at that tweet now, and it's like, stop comparing me to Drake. He don't even write his own raps.
Yeah, but Drake's got more talent and he's bigger. I just didn't know why he was going up against Drake, especially when he made that song about Drake. It was one of the worst rap songs I've ever heard, dude.
Yeah, it was a terrible diss record. Like, honestly, I don't know why Meek chose to do what he did, but it didn't end well for him. So hopefully he can rebound in 2016 when he gets off house arrest later on this year.
What do you think about where rap music is at? Because if you look at it, it's really changed over the last 20 years, and it just sounds like a lot of it is auto-tuned and has a lot of computer in it. So what do you think of where the rap business is in 2016?
It just depends what you're into. I mean, I like it because I feel like it's a smorgasbord of everything out here. I feel like, if you want to listen to your mindless, ignorant, turn-up music, you got that. If you want to listen to your socially conscious records, you got that. If you want to listen to your real artsy, fartsy, melodic type stuff, you got that as well. So I feel like it's just a little bit of everything out here for everybody. And I like the fact that the three biggest rappers in the game right now are Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. And those guys are very, very lyrical. I like the fact that a lot of the guys who are actually winning and prospering actually can rap their asses off really, really well. So for me, I think hip hop is it's in a really good space. Honestly, I think it's in a really great space. And I tell people all the time, if you don't like what you're hearing in rap music, you might want to turn the radio off and go search for something on the internet, because it's out there. Anything you're possibly looking for is out there.
What do you think about the Chicago rap scene? Because I don't know if you can tell, but I have a Chicago accent because I'm from there. And I'm not a big fan of guys like Chief Keef and Lil Durk, because I feel like they sort of promote violence when we need to have role models. What is your take on that type of turn-up music?
I'm with you on that. I'll be lying if I say that when I'm in the gym sometime and a Chief Keef record comes on, it don't make me do some extra calisthenics.
Oh, of course.
I do understand what you're saying. I feel like, these guys do have a responsibility. But you know what? Maybe it's not Chief Keef's responsibility, but then you got other rappers from Chicago like Chance the Rapper. You got guys like Kanye West who are always delivering socially conscious messages. One of my favorite artists out right now is very socially conscious, and she's from Chicago. Her name is Tank. She's a female rapper, born and raised in Chicago, 21 years old. And I just think she's really dope. She's got a really great message in her music, and she's from Chicago. So, yeah, when you look at those cities, you're going to have your positives, you're going to have your negatives, you're going to have your goods, you're going to have your bad, you're going to have your junk food, you're going to have your stuff that's healthy and good for you. So it's just sometimes even though that Chief Keef and all that is out there, you just got to bypass that and go to where the good shit is. And some of those kids that you see dining on that junk food, you got to be like, yo, check this out, though. This is some good shit. You might like this. Put down that motherfucking Twinkie and eat this asparagus.
No, I want to get your take on this because you're a very outspoken person. On your Twitter, you go up against a lot of people that talk smack, and they get easily offended, and I find it very bizarre. Do you think in 2016 we have a serious case of fake outrage?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of fake outrage. But I never. I think we have a lot of fake outrage, but I think that when you offend somebody, it's real. Especially, when you have public forums like I do. Like if I get on the radio and I say something about an artist, and then people are tweeting this artist over and over, telling them what I said, they feel like they have to respond. I'm never upset about the responses because, like I said, you can't say what you want about people and expect for them not to have a rebuttal. Like they can rebuttal and they have a right to rebuttal.
How weird is it, dude, that these people hide behind the keyboard and they talk smack to you? I mean, a lot of times I'll look at your tweet, then I'll just look at the mentions, and the things they say, dude, they would never say to your face. How bizarre is it that these guys just hide behind a keyboard?
Hey, man, that's the era we live in. We live in an era full of thumb thugs. It's a bunch of broadband bloods and cyber crips out here. It is what it is. But like I tell people, I like to respond just because I like to respond. But you really can't get too upset because you're just responding to ghosts. It's a bunch of phantoms out here. It's a bunch of people you'll never meet in your life. It's a bunch of people you'll never see in your life. You really don't know if they even really exist or not. So why stress yourself over them?
Do you think that social media is bringing things down? Because it seems like everybody's on their phone now, dude, and it seems like social interactions are at an all-time low. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. People don't know how to be social anymore. People don't know the art of conversation anymore. People don't know how to look somebody in the eyes when they're talking to them. People don't even know how to form sentences. Like a lot of these guys, they can tweet their ass off, but you get them in a room and talk to them, they the most quiet, conservative, don't even know how to express themselves. People, trust me. When I got a show on MTV2 called Uncommon Sense. It comes on every Friday night at 11 p.m. And one thing I wanted to do was use a lot of social media personalities. And a lot of these guys, man, that I brought into the radio. I brought into the studio to audition. They literally couldn't form sentences. They literally had nothing to say. Like it was the weirdest thing ever to me. I'm like, wow. Like it's a total waste of time.
How has everything been going on MTV2? Because you do a radio show, you have a podcast, and you're on MTV2. So how has that been?
Oh, man, I love it, man. MTV2, that's family. Those are people who, I got people that I invited that was at my wedding. You know what I'm saying? I got real friends over there. And, even when the time comes and I'm, no longer on MTV2, I hope I'm there in some capacity as an executive or something, building other shows with some of the people who I've formed relationships with there. So I love it.
What is your dream goal with MTV2? Would you want to keep doing what you're doing? Would you ever want to do a late night talk show? Where do you want to see yourself on TV in 5 years?
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate goal. I have a bunch of projects that I'm bringing through MTV and MTV2 as an executive producer now. But the ultimate goal is to have my own late night or even daytime talk show one day. That's definitely something I want to do. When I look at guys like Steve Harvey, when I look at, individuals like that, those guys inspire me. I'm still growing. The only thing those guys like Steve them got on me is 30 years experience.
Are you ever nervous that because you're outspoken that might hold you back? Or do you think that if you keep doing your thing, it would work out?
Nah, man, because I honestly feel like the world is finally catching up to what I've been doing. If you look at the way, guys like Howard Stern, Wendy Williams, OGs like Petey Green, they were really outspoken in a time when everybody was being PC and politically correct. But now we live in this era where everybody's fake politically correct. But there's nobody that's really PC because everybody is saying what the fuck they want to say, when they want to say it, to who they want to say it to. So I feel like now everybody's just finally catching up. So it's for me, it's not even about being outspoken. It's just about always giving an honest opinion, always speaking how I really, truly feel. As long as I'm doing that, I'm going to be all right.
Would you say that Wendy Williams is one of your mentors over the years?
Oh, yeah, she absolutely was. You know, I worked with her from February of 2006 to, like, you know, on her radio show from, like, until November 2008. But I worked with her in other capacities until, like, 2009, early 2010. So, yeah, she was absolutely, I mean, she prepared me for where I'm at now, just as far as, like, you know, being nationally syndicated. I mean, even though I'm currently in more markets than she was when she was on the radio, but, you know, being nationally syndicated, even the big national TV looks, like being with her for those few years groomed me for all of this.
Now, you're on TV, you do a podcast, you do a radio show. How do you keep up with everything, dude, without burning out? Because you do a lot.
Yeah, but I also get my rest. You know, my life is based around rest. My life isn't based around anything else. Like, it's 168 hours in a week. That gives me enough time to handle my business, pursue my other passions, go to the gym, be with my family, and get rest. Like, when I hang up with you, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out for an hour and a half. I'm going to be back here by, like, 9. I'm going to eat dinner, take a shower, and I'm going to be in bed by 10:15. And I'm going to be up at 4, doing it all again tomorrow. Tomorrow I got the radio, I got interviews after radio, then I got meetings at MTV, and I got my podcast, then I'm back home. And then Thursday, I go from the radio to actually going to film my show, Uncommon Sense, on Thursday night. But then I got the whole weekend. Like last weekend, I had to go to London. Last weekend was hectic because after I did the show on Thursday night, I jumped on an 11 o'clock flight, flew to London because I had to do my podcast live from London that Friday. But this weekend, I got the whole weekend to myself. So it's like all I do on the weekend is rest, hit the gym, be with my family.
How much prep do you do for your show? Do you do it during the day, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning? How do you get the prep ready for the Breakfast Club?
It never stops. Never stops. Like, I might see something on my phone, be watching TV later, or something that happened during the day today, something that may happen in the gym later. Like, my life is prep. Like, it really honestly never stops. Never.
Now, how do you make it work with Angela Yee and DJ Envy? You guys come off so natural, like you're just good friends. Is that how it is in real life? Because you guys just bounce off real good.
I mean, we got a great work relationship. I think we got a great work relationship because all of us have been co-hosts before. You know, Angela was a co-host of Cypher Sounds when she was on satellite radio. Envy was a co-host of Miss Jones when he was on Hot 97. I was a co-host of Wendy. So I feel like since we all know how to play our positions, it's easy to play our positions with each other. And I just think we got a great work relationship, man. And, you know, we're not the best of friends off air, but we cool. Like, we just built something great. And when it's time to hit that court, we hit that court and we ball out.
Have you guys ever had any arguments during the breaks at all?
Oh, yeah, all the time. We've argued on air, off the air. You know, we going through stuff now. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like a marriage. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's bad. And that's just the reality of the situation. But I think everybody in the situation is smart enough to know that we all complement each other and we're good with each other.
And now, before I let you go, dude, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years when it comes to the TV show, your podcast, and the Breakfast Club? How do you want to see this play out?
I want to be the biggest multimedia personality on the planet. I want to be the guy who not only has all these tremendous platforms that you just named, but I provided other platforms for people. Like, I want to executive produce more shows and discover more new talent. You know, I want the Breakfast Club to still be the biggest radio, you know, station, biggest radio show in the country. You know, I want to move into network. I want to start infiltrating some of these networks, the ABCs, the CBSs, the Foxes. I want to start doing more things on there. I want to start developing these movie strips. Like, I just want to be a multimedia mogul, period. But I don't want to be involved with anything that is not moving the culture forward or helping to empower people, because I feel like that's why you have to be in these positions of power. You got to be in positions of power to empower others.
How are you going to make this happen? How do you see this playing out?
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing now. Like, I'm already on course. All of this stuff is happening now. Like, I'm planting seeds for this now. Like, I'm already executive producing, 5 or 6 different shows that you'll be seeing in the next months or so. And I got a book coming out through Simon and Schuster. That comes out March 2017. My late night talk show on Common Sense, all that's doing is grooming me for the next situation that's going to come, which I know is going to be bigger than the one I'm doing now. Like, that's just the way life works. We're already on 40 markets, you know what I'm saying, on the radio. So I look at the staple shows like the Elvis Durans and the Howard Sterns. That's what they did. The same thing we're doing now, that's what they did. So it's just like, we just got to stay focused and keep moving, keep it moving.
How cool is it to think that you are one of the biggest faces of iHeartMedia, including Elvis Duran and Ryan Seacrest, Bobby Bones, etc. How surreal is it that you're one of the faces of the company?
It is. It's very surreal that I'm one of the faces of the company. It's even more surreal that Elvis and Bobby are people I consider friends. Elvis is a great mentor. Like, I can call Elvis and ask him for anything, any advice, and he'll give it to me. I can go walk in Elvis's office and ask him for advice, and he'll give it to me. Bobby is like the brother I never had. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of had the same kind of upbringing, the same kind of experiences in this business, and he gives me, man, I can't even tell you the type of advice Bobby gives me, the type of things he shows me that he doesn't even have to show me, that he trusts, showing me. And I mean, what he's giving me is invaluable, and I really appreciate that guy. So even more so than being a face of the company, I appreciate the fact that I've even met those individuals and can call them friends.
Now, where can people find your work online and on the radio?
At Seed of God, CTHAGOD, or you can go to my website, seedofgodworld.com. I'm at Seed of God, CTHAGOD, on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat, Seed of God, CTHGOD7. I'm on Periscope, Seed of God. I'm on Facebook, Seed of God, CTHAGOD. And, you can tune into that iHeartRadio app every morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just go to Power 105.1 and listen to The Breakfast Club, man, and watch Uncommon Sense every Friday at 11 p.m. on MTV2.
Well, dude, keep up the good work. I'm a big fan of how you're an outspoken guy and how you hustle in basically every part of the media business. So keep up the good work, and it's been a lot of fun having you on Happy Hour.
Hey, thank you for having me on the Happy Hour, man. Y'all be cool. Peace.
Peace out, dude. And that was Charlamagne the God, who you can basically find everywhere. And I'm a big fan of this guy, and I love how he hustles, and I really look up to it, because a lot of guys in radio, once they become successful, they become a bit lazy and content. But Charlamagne is the guy that will never give up until he reaches that point. And even when he reaches that point, he will keep on hustling. So I really look up to that. If you're a big fan of Charlamagne the God or The Breakfast Club, and you want to hear more of Happy Hour, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is go to the Google Play or iPhone shop, search up Happy Radio, and you can hear all 120 interviews I've done since July. You can also tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, RyanHoppe Radio. Email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com, and my website is ryanhopperadio.com. Once again, shout out to Charlamagne the God for coming on Happy Hour. And speaking of which, this has been Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
Ryan RyanHoppyRadio.com.
Happy Hour will be right back.
Whenever we're going outside, all I smell is poop.
In the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
As a reminder, if you don't feel like listening to this next song, you can skip over it. But Ryan Hoppe of Happy Hour takes pride in his selection, so stick around, folks.
Don't worry, Fresno. Happy Hour will be right back.